Have you ever woken up in the morning, stepped onto the floor, and felt like your feet were numb, like thousands of tiny needles pricking every toe? That feeling is all too familiar for many people over the age of 60. It starts quietly. At first, it might only happen once in a while, like a soft breeze brushing across your skin. But gradually, it becomes more frequent, while you're walking, cooking, or even just sitting down to rest. Many believe it's just a part of aging. Poor circulation, weakened nerves. That's part of the truth. But there's something many overlook. Our everyday diet may silently contribute to worsening numbness, tingling, and the loss of sensation in our feet. Some foods seem harmless. A sweet piece of candy, a refreshing soda, a convenient slice of frozen pizza. But they quietly promote inflammation, damage the tiny nerves in the feet, impair blood flow, and leave you feeling heavy, numb, and fatigued day after day. Eventually, that discomfort makes you reluctant to walk. You move less, you feel less joyful, and you start to feel older, not because of time, but because of the small things that feel out of your control. But today you can change that. Not with medications or extreme measures, but with gentle awareness. By understanding the 8 foods silently hurting your feet and learning how to adjust them in ways that are safe, simple, and aligned with the rhythm of aging. Because your feet aren't just for walking. They carry your freedom, your connection, and your dignity in every step. So let's take this journey together, with love for our bodies and the belief that just a small shift can help us feel lighter, more comfortable, and free to walk each day. Beer and alcohol. The silent nerve damagers. You might think a single beer with dinner or a little wine to unwind can't do much harm. But as we age, our bodies have weathered years of quiet battles. Even a little alcohol can be the final straw. Alcohol causes abnormal constriction of blood vessels. It disrupts the steady flow of blood to the toes, areas that desperately need nourishment. This lack of oxygen and nutrients can make your feet feel heavy, as if weighed down with stones, or bring on that persistent ants crawling sensation. More than that, alcohol depletes B vitamins, critical nutrients for nerve health. Over time, this can lead to what's known as alcohol-related neuropathy, where the tingling and numbness become more pronounced and longer lasting. If you've ever felt tingling in your hands or feet after a party, listen to your body. It might be a gentle reminder that it's time to ease up, not out of strict restriction, but out of deeper self-care. Try swapping in calming herbal teas or fresh juices. Take a sip and let your body breathe a little easier. And if you've ever felt tingling or heaviness in your feet after drinking, leave a comment below. Your story might be the reminder someone else needs. French fries and fried foods, crispy traps that block blood flow. We all have fond memories of fries, movie nights, a quick lunch break, or simply treating ourselves after a long day. But for older adults, these crunchy treats can quietly become the culprit behind daily foot numbness, especially by evening. Fries and most fried snacks are soaked in industrial oils, loaded with trans fats. These fats raise bad cholesterol, inflame blood vessels, and slow blood flow to peripheral nerves. When circulation suffers, numbness, tingling, or that pins and needles feeling in your feet can appear and linger. On top of that, the high salt content in fried foods can cause fluid retention, making your feet slightly swollen, an uncomfortable sensation many dismiss as just fatigue from walking. Instead, consider baked potatoes or sautéed veggies like carrots or pumpkin with a splash of extra virgin olive oil. You'll still enjoy the crispness, but in a way that's kinder to your heart and nerves. Pastries and processed candy. When small joys become big burdens. Mr. Harold, 79, lives alone in Florida and still enjoys a small cupcake and a few caramel candies every evening after dinner. "It's my sweet reward after taking my meds," he says. But lately, he's noticed his feet feel prickly, especially at night. He thought it was due to ill-fitting shoes, until his doctor mentioned the effects of refined sugar. The truth is, cakes, gummies, and processed sweets may bring momentary pleasure, but they are silent thieves of nerve health. Excessive sugar causes blood sugar spikes and widespread inflammation, especially in small blood vessels, like those in the feet and hands, the furthest points from the heart. Damaged vessels mean nerves aren't nourished properly, leading to tingling, burning, or even sharp ant bite sensations. Packaged pastries and candies often contain preservatives and artificial additives that fuel chronic inflammation and slow down nerve cell regeneration, a serious concern for older adults who already have slower healing. A gentle solution for those with a sweet tooth. Try fresh fruits like strawberries, blueberries, or green apples. They offer fiber and satisfy cravings. If you love chocolate, go for dark chocolate with at least 70% cocoa, low in sugar and high in antioxidants. Or bake oatmeal cookies at home using ripe bananas and honey instead of white sugar. They're easier to digest and support nerve health. Do you have a go-to dessert that's sweet but safe? Share it in the comments. Your nourishing treat might be just the gentle change someone's looking for. Instant soup. A convenient meal that secretly harms nerves. Mrs. Margaret, 81, widowed for nearly a decade, lives alone in a small Arizona apartment. On rainy days or when she's too tired to cook, she often turns to instant soup. Just boil water, toss in the packet, dinner is done. Easy, quick, and no dishes to wash. But after a few months of weekly soup meals, she started feeling a numb cushion under her feet. Sometimes even sharp pains at night. She blamed age at first, until her doctor mentioned high sodium intake. The truth is, instant soups contain dangerously high amounts of salt, often 3 to 4 times what an older adult needs per meal. Too much sodium thickens the blood, reduces circulation, and forces the heart to work harder to deliver nutrients to the extremities, like your feet. The result? Oxygen and nutrient shortages to nerves, leading to numbness, burning, or tingling sensations. On top of that, instant soups are filled with MSG, preservatives, and artificial flavors, silent agents of blood vessel inflammation that directly impact the small, sensitive nerves of older adults. A warm-hearted solution for your feet and your soul. Instead of instant packets, try cooking a batch of homemade vegetable soup at the start of the week and store it in small containers. Use ingredients like pumpkin, carrots, onions, and lentils, and season gently with sea salt or unsalted bone broth. Let each spoonful nourish your body and remind you, even small changes made with love can bring big relief. If you're unable to cook for yourself, try choosing canned soups labeled low sodium, and always read the ingredients carefully to avoid hidden sodium. A bowl of soup made with love, even if simple, can nourish not only the body, but also the soul. Have you ever cooked a homemade soup that left you feeling light, comforted, and warm inside? Share your recipe in the comments below. Your humble dish might be just what someone else needs to feel better tomorrow. Packaged pastries, a brief joy, a long-term harm. Mr. Harold, 74, lives in the suburbs of Portland with his wife Linda. Every morning, he brews a hot cup of coffee and pairs it with a packaged muffin from the grocery store. It's fragrant, soft, easy to eat, and convenient, he says. But over time, he started noticing a tingling sensation in the soles of his feet, especially when standing too long or stepping out of bed in the morning. At first, he assumed it was from too much walking, but his nutritionist asked directly, "Do you eat processed pastries every day?" The truth is, industrial baked goods, whether muffins, cupcakes, or pound cakes, often contain high amounts of refined sugar and saturated fats, while lacking any real fiber or natural nutrients. Sudden spikes in blood sugar can damage the small blood vessels in the feet, those furthest from the heart, reducing blood supply to peripheral nerves, which leads to numbness, burning, or prickling sensations. Moreover, trans fats in many packaged pastries increase bad cholesterol, LDL, narrow blood vessels, and weaken circulation, causing older adults to lose more sensation in their feet over time. A gentle yet sweet alternative. Bake your own muffins using whole grain oats, mashed ripe bananas, and a touch of honey or applesauce for natural sweetness. If buying baked goods, look for options labeled low sugar, no trans fat. Or purchase from local bakeries with transparent ingredient lists. A slice of homemade cake, infused with love, smart choices, and gratitude for your body, offers more than just fleeting sweetness. Spinach, a superfood that's not always super safe. Mrs. Margaret, 78, a retired nurse, has always loved greens. Every morning, she starts her day with a smoothie made from spinach, banana, and flax seeds. To her, it's a habit of someone who takes health seriously. But gradually, she began feeling a light numbness in her legs during the afternoon, sometimes a crawling sensation down her calves, especially after walking or standing too long. Initially, she thought it was just aging, But during a visit to a nutritionist, she was asked a surprising question. Do you eat raw spinach every day? Her answer was yes, and that habit turned out to be a key contributor to her foot numbness. What many don't realize, while spinach is rich in nutrients, it has a downside for circulation and nerve health. Spinach is loaded with vitamins A, C, and K, as well as fiber and minerals like iron and magnesium. It sounds fantastic. But hidden within is a controversial compound, oxalate. Oxalates are natural substances found in many plants, and spinach happens to be one of the highest in oxalate content. When oxalates accumulate in the body, they can bind with calcium to form calcium oxalate crystals, the main cause of kidney stones. But the bigger concern for older adults is this. These crystals can obstruct blood flow in tiny capillaries, especially in the feet. They also reduce calcium absorption, which is essential for healthy nerve signals. Over time, this leads to peripheral nerve issues, tingling, numbness, and a loss of sensation in the lower limbs. As we age, our kidneys become less efficient, we tend to drink less water, and our microcirculation weakens, making it harder to flush out excess oxalates, increasing the risk of nerve damage. Did you know? Many people drink raw spinach smoothies daily, without realizing that oxalates remain intact when eaten raw. Cooking spinach can reduce oxalates by 30 to 90%, depending on the method. For example, boiling and discarding the water reduces oxalates significantly. Steaming or lightly sautéing preserves nutrients while minimizing potential harm. Especially if you're on blood thinners like warfarin, consuming too much spinach, rich in vitamin K, can interfere with your medication, increasing the risk of blood clots and poor circulation. So how can you safely enjoy spinach while supporting nerve and circulatory health? Here are 5 gentle yet effective tips for those over 60. Prioritize cooked spinach. Swap raw smoothies for lightly boiled spinach with boiled eggs or mix into veggie soup. Pair it with calcium-rich foods like yogurt, soft cheese, or calcium-fortified plant milk to reduce oxalate absorption in the gut. Alternate with low oxalate greens like kale, romaine lettuce, or collard greens for variety and reduced risk. Stay hydrated. Drink 6 to 8 glasses of water daily to help kidneys flush out oxalates and maintain healthy circulation. Listen to your body. If you feel fatigued, tingly, or notice foot numbness after meals with spinach, take note. Your body always sends signals. We just have to listen. Have you ever felt numbness, tingling, or heaviness in your feet after regularly eating a certain leafy green? Do you drink spinach smoothies every morning? Have you noticed changes in how your feet feel since starting? Share your story in the comments. Your experience might help someone realize something they never thought to question. Sometimes we chalk up tingling, crawling sensations, or suddenly cold feet to just getting older. But the truth is, many of the physical symptoms we feel are honest reflections of what we feed our bodies each day. Throughout this journey, we've explored 8 common foods that can silently worsen numbness, tingling, and poor circulation in older adults. Commercial ice cream seems like a sweet treat but loaded with sugars and inflammatory fats. Sodas, sugary or sugar-free, both affect small blood vessels and peripheral nerves. Beer dehydrates the body, impacts nerves, and slows circulation to the feet. Milk chocolate, tasty but full of saturated fat and refined sugars. White bread lacks fiber, spikes blood sugar, and damages capillaries in the feet. Industrial French fries, full of unhealthy oils and salt, creating a chronic inflammatory environment. Instant soups, convenient, but the excessive salt narrows blood vessels. Spinach, raw, a superfood, but if eaten wrong, its oxalates can affect nerve health. The wonderful news? Just a few small changes can make a big difference. Instead of commercial ice cream, try making frozen yogurt with Greek yogurt and fresh fruit. Instead of soda, sip water with lemon slices, mint, or fresh coconut water. Instead of white bread, go for whole grain bread, rich in fiber and blood sugar friendly. And instead of fearing spinach, just cook it gently and rotate it with other greens weekly. Food isn't the enemy, it's a friend, if we understand and choose wisely. Caring for your feet is caring for your whole life. Our feet are the first to feel life and the last to carry us everywhere, from the quiet hallways of our home to an afternoon walk in the park. Warm, strong, and sensitive feet are priceless, especially after living through 60 beautiful springs. Caring for your feet isn't just about medicine, It's a way of telling yourself, I deserve to live well every single day. Have you ever been surprised to learn that a familiar food might be causing foot numbness or weakness? Among the 8 foods we discussed, which one would be the hardest for you to part with? And what change do you think you could try starting tomorrow? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Your words today might be exactly what someone else needs to hear to begin their journey toward feeling healthy, alive, and fully present in every step. Thank you for staying with me until the very end. If you found this helpful, feel free to share it with friends, family, or anyone silently struggling with foot numbness and not knowing why. And if you enjoy gentle, heartfelt, and inspiring content like this, subscribe or follow the channel so we can keep having meaningful conversations about health, aging, and living fully at every stage of life. See you in the next video.